T-Box Talk, episode 14. Today on the podcast, my name is Andrew. I am joined, as always, by Josh, Will, and our summer intern who's still not dressing suit and tie, even though he promised his productivity levels would raise and because of that.
Basically.
So you're on the chopping block, Nick. Welcome to the podcast. Today we are going to be recapping a pretty good weekend. Will returns from his trip from Lake Morey. Me, Nick, and Josh had quite the experience at a country club over the weekend. We're going to preview the Open. Should be fun. We'll give some picks. And then we got the PGA Tour under some investigation. We'll get into that very shortly. We might sneak in a few stand-up sections at the end. Depends how we're on time. And then some behind the scenes at OMADA as always. So, without further ado, Will Davis, I know you were really excited about your trip to Lake Morey. How'd it go?
Textbook Lake Morey trip. No injuries, no police. Not a lot of sleeping either, but a lot of golf. I'm definitely a shell of myself right now, rightfully so. I'm the only one who took Monday off, but I live out of state, so you get back late on Sunday, and then I've got to get back to Rhode Island on Monday. So I did find out that I think more than 50% of my group called out of work on Monday anyways, so I think they learned their lesson and take Monday off next time.
Yep.
It's a lot of golf. You're exhausted. So with that being said, we played 27 holes on Friday. I shot a 73 on the front. And then we did a 9-hole scramble, which we won at 5 under. And then we played 36 holes on Saturday. Not a great performance out of myself on Saturday, but we did win the 18-hole scramble in the second part of the day. So, again, 5 under. Didn't play as good, but we won anyways. But it's a marathon, But if you're not tired, then you didn't do it right. So that's pretty much the golf side of it. I think the coolest part of the trip was that there was a wedding on Saturday, and a few of us pooled about a couple $100 together, and we paid for a ton of bar tabs off of the wedding.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so we ended up meeting the bride and groom. They're really nice people, and it was supposed to be anonymous, but we had people coming up to us all night that must have figured it out. So that was a cool high of the trip. And then for anyone wondering if we want to get the OMADA boys in on it next year, I found out the price. It's $588 for the 3 days, all your meals, all your golf, and everything. So
that's not bad at all, dude.
No,
wow.
So last year was $535.
Lodging as well.
Lodging as well.
Stop.
Yeah.
How do they even do that? What?
We're in a shack.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a lot of people who don't take advantage of the unlimited golf, or like they skip out on meals because sometimes if your tee times aren't made, like my dad makes all the tee times, so he's been going for 40 years, as I said. And if you don't make your tee times like with the right windows and like the 4.5 hours in mind, you'll miss dinner. So like Friday we were running to dinner from the golf course because we finished at like 7:30 and we have the latest dinner at 8 o'clock. But yeah, all in all, great freaking time. Can't wait till next year.
What was the best 18 holes that you think you shot?
Well, my lowest at Lake Morey, 71. So I didn't shoot my lowest. Like I said, I shot a 73. That was the lowest score of the group. There was a 74 and a 75 on Saturday, but
nice.
No one beat the 73. Again, I had a shot at 69, and I screwed that up on 17 and 18. So,
how did Ranger Dave play?
Ranger Dave played good. Yeah, I think he went 88, 84 for his two, because you get 2 rounds for stroke play for yourself, and then there's 2 scrambles. But he played great.
Any nights get out of hand at all, or was it fun?
Well, I'll leave it at this. Shout out my buddy Dolph and my buddy Wheeze, who managed to get cut off at the bar by 7 o'clock at night.
Wow.
It's funny though. Like my buddy Dolph, he can drink 2 beers and just look plastered. Like he doesn't need to drink 10 beers to look drunk. He just has this thing where he'll drink 2 to 3 beers and just automatically look plastered.
That's a tough look. Dolph. What's going on there, bud? So now, how's the balance of wanting to party all night and having to know that you have to get up super early because you already have those tee times booked way in advance?
Friday, usually you try and cut it off by 10 p.m. because you got to be up around 5 a.m. on Saturday. But with Saturday in mind, you can go as like we stayed up till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, that's late for me. I mean, you guys know I'm usually in bed at 9 o'clock during the week. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like I said, it's a marathon. Even if, even like Sundays, sometimes we don't even play. But if the weather's really nice, we'll stick it out. We played on Sunday, but I'm gonna put play in quotations because I think I got out of the golf cart 4 times. so not much playing, lots of golf cart time. But it's Morey, and that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been on a golf trip myself, so I don't really know.
I was gonna say, you're saying they're partying, like that's not the point of the trip.
Well, in a respect it is, but it's all about keeping it together because you're on the golf course for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and you're drinking for 8 to 10 hours a day straight on the golf course, and then you have to get off the golf course and go to dinner, and then go to the bar after dinner for live music.
Yeah. Oh, so they have live music there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
See, but that's like when I think about partying. Like I went on a trip, and it was talk. I went to South Carolina and
Charleston, right?
I think it was Charleston.
Awesome place.
Was it Charleston? Yeah, I don't know. Charleston, call it. No, you know what it was? We flew into Charleston, and we decided to take a night of like just pure like fun. You know what I mean? Because then we were gonna go, I think, further south towards like the beach area, but play golf. But when we went out, the thing is like you go out, and then as he said, like those all day events, dude. You're like I'm too fucking tired after. Like, you played 27 holes?
27 Friday, 36 on Saturday. And then
Jesus.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. That is the trip for me. Like, when I was in South Carolina, I remember feeling like I don't know that I'm a golf trip guy, but, like, I'm good with just playing 18 and then going out and doing other things that are unrelated to golf. I also like experiences. So to me, like the difference is like that is also on the same course that they're doing, right? Am I wrong in that?
Yeah, well, like basically, like once you get to Lake Morey, you park your car and you don't move it again until Sunday. Like there's nothing in Fairlee, Vermont besides one supermarket. Like that's it.
Oh, wow.
So there's not really like going out. I mean, like you can go to the bar, you go swimming, you sit outside, whatever, but you don't leave the resort. So.
Right. And if I was there, that would be my mentality. I would go there and I would just the boat thing you've sold me on already.
Yeah, the boats.
Golf.
My dad was like this fucking close to doing the boat on Saturday because we had like 3 hours to kill before dinner, even after we played 36 holes.
Yeah.
So the boat thing is probably going to be in the cards for one of the next trips. But
speaking of boats, I went on my first ever fishing trip this weekend, and I'll keep a long story short. It was kind of like one of those like surprise fish trip. Well, it was a surprise fish trip. Like we were not planning on it, and all of a sudden, like my buddy's dad was like, "Hey, anybody want to go out tomorrow morning?" And they were all down, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll roll with it." And I was very nervous because like I'd never been like on the ocean before, like fishing like that. So I thought I was gonna get seasick, and like I've heard horror stories from everybody. And like my couple of my brothers, like they get very seasick. So like I was like, I'm fucked. Like I just accepted that I was gonna be fucked on this. Turns out I don't get seasick, and so that was awesome. I caught a fish.
You do realize it's not like you don't like just because you didn't get seasick this time, you might still get seasick next time. It's not a rite of passage, It's not like a
first of all, the whole rest of the day I felt like I was still on the boat the whole day. It was
that's
weird.
true. Yeah,
it was weird. It was a weird feeling, which I did not like, especially when I was trying to sleep. But I caught my first ever ocean fish, so that was pretty sweet.
And you got a sick new Facebook profile picture out of
so
it.
for the first time in I think 7 years, I updated my Facebook profile picture to me with the fish. So now everybody's gonna think I'm one of those fish guys. So I'm gonna fucking roll with it.
I want you to say that one more time. Say what you just said.
Everyone's gonna think I'm a fish guy.
Is that what you want to be represented by? Being a fucking fish guy?
Well, first of all, the picture's sick. All right, the ocean.
It is. It is a
background.
sick picture. Yeah,
I've seen it.
Flash
That's something
it
a
up here
fish
for the
guy would say.
vidcast,
I
but,
smashed that like button.
I got some good likes on it.
Damn, dude. Something tells me there's not like a whole pool of girls out there that sit there and go, "Oh, it's a fish guy. I love that, dude. Let me see that. Let me see more of that fish guy."
A lot of it I see is like, if you have a fish in your profile picture, I'm swiping left.
Yeah,
Like,
it's always the exactly. It's always the opposite. So
Yeah.
Did you eat any of the fish you guys
No,
caught?
you're not allowed to keep them.
You're not allowed to keep
Catch and
them.
release.
No,
Okay.
I think you're only allowed to keep one fish per fishing license or something like that. It's
Wow, they're pretty strict then, because
Oh,
I used to
very.
go out with my uncle to the race off of New London, Connecticut. He knows all the rules, and we used to eat the striper and the bluefish all the time. Bluefish tastes more like chicken. Striper is kind of like flavorless, but it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, you have to have special
That
license to
was-
keep them.
That was a great rundown. I feel
I
like I ate
definitely,
it.
I definitely feel like that's more like because I don't like the super fishy fish.
No,
Flavors.
Yeah.
bluefish is kind of fishy, but like I said, it tastes more like chicken. It's like not even ironic. You know how people say like, "Oh, it tastes like chicken."
Yeah.
No, it does. The consistency is more like chicken too. Striper's very light. It's a very light white fish.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But speaking of other weekend stuff, me, Josh, and Nicky Shanks over here played a country club on Friday, and we had, would you say, probably the worst round you've played in a couple years, just like enjoyment-wise?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it was. I'll set the scene. We show up. It was great. We were all very excited, and immediately had 3 guys up our ass, right? So we're already playing with 3 guys on our ass. We have, that classic conversation on the golf course. Should we let them play through? Should we not? We can't let them play through because behind them was a whole other train of people, So it was like, okay, well, we just got to play. So we were picking up our pace. We were playing at a normal pace. We actually finished the round in exactly 4 hours. So we played on pace. These 3 guys behind us skip ahead of us, which is, I don't really care, but it made me feel really shitty. It was like one of those feelings like, oh, man, like they skipped holes. Like, were we playing that slow? And then they were just on my mind the rest of the day. And then once we get to the back 9, we catch up to a group that's playing with 6 people. And so now we're waiting 15 to 20 minutes per hole. Absolutely insane. But here's the catch. If you've listened to the podcast with Phil the Thrill, you'll remember the story about how Phil got accosted by one of these country club members for having his shirt untucked. Well, the guy who was so gung-ho about the rules of the country club was playing, the Penguin Man was playing in the 6-man group.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
What,
Crazy.
what a hypocrite.
I
You can't
couldn't
make this stuff
believe
up.
it, dude.
You cannot make this stuff up.
And I recognized him because he looks like the Penguin from Batman.
This is like the exact, like, he's just calling you guys out to be a dick at the, like,
Yeah.
there was no need for the Phil the Thrill thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's apparent that he just has a bad day every day of the week then.
Yeah. And
He also said, "I don't want to be a dick,"
But then, yeah, that
But
means
here
you're
it
a
comes.
dick. Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah,
right? But
guy's a
then,
dick.
and then right after that, or did you want to keep going?
no, you can take it.
Well, right after that, my dad, we were on a par 5, and there's like a downhill where you can't see everything, and then to the right of that is the tee box for the next hole, and he hit a 3-wood from like 265 out, and he ended up being like pin high, but it was on the right side of the green, and it had hit a tree, so we couldn't see. Landed on the tee box and like nearly hit a couple people, but it didn't hit a couple people, and it also was like we couldn't see them, and there was nowhere to call 4 from. Like we didn't even know that they were there, and so when we get down there, they're fucking and it was the 6-man group. All 6 of them want to give us are going off on us, and I'm like, dude, there's nothing that we could have done. This is the game. It happens. Like it's one thing if you can visually see somebody off of a tee box, but this was a rogue 3-wood that clipped a tree that they were blocked by in a hill, and it was complete accident. And nobody, like, there's just nothing you can do about it. Like we could, even if we had yelled for you, wouldn't have hurt us because there's a fucking line of trees in front of us.
And I will note, this is the first time that we caught up to them all day. This group did not exist for our entire round. And then all of a sudden they existed. It was very weird. I don't know if they jumped.
It's just wild to me that a country club would let 6 people go off at one time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they did or not. I don't know if they joined forces with another group or not.
I mean, I have. It's not that I have like a huge problem with the 6-man, but I think what I have a problem with more than anything is like I just feel like if you're gonna go out with 6 people, you have to play like you're in a 6-person group. You can't be fucking out there checking, laying down on the green and checking putts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you got to move a little bit with some pace, because you can't. you can't fall behind too much. They were fucking way behind.
Yeah,
like they were so much so that it was like stopping us from playing.
If you have like 6 people, you pick up the 2-footer. Like
Pick up the 2-footer.
They were in like a cult circle around the pin, trying to knock in 3-footers. Like they're having meetings about their like after work activities in the middle of the putting green. We're trying to hit our shots from the par 3, and they're literally an arm's width away. Like they could all slap each other in the face.
You got some shit on the course too, didn't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was actually on the front when that group had skipped us. A group behind them, who was now 2 holes behind us, so we were just never in their range, had gingerly strolled over to me in their cart because I don't know if they could walk very fast at that that pace. And he just was kind of basically saying that was the slowest group on the course and they had to skip you guys. And
So what do I? They said that they were the slowest
No.
group on the course.
The group that skipped us, he was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, like that's the slowest group on the course, and even they had to go through you guys." And I was like, "Okay, sir. So you guys have a 2-hole gap behind us right now, and if you guys do catch up to us, you're more than welcome to go through. But until then, like, enjoy your round. I mean, I don't know what you really want. Like, if you want to skip the next 2 holes and then skip the hole we're on to go ahead of us, you're more than welcome."
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
that was not the slowest group on that. When they passed us, they passed like 3 other groups, and we never saw them again. They were running through that golf course,
and then they were eating dinner or lunch when we got up there still. So they're obviously not moving very fast.
The thing is, I know what the pace was.
Yeah.
Like, we were checking the time.
Right.
I'm not saying we're the fastest golfers in the world, but, like, were we playing it at, like, a 4-hour pace on 9? No. Were we playing even at a 3-hour? No.
Yeah.
I just felt like that's the problem with the country club vibe is, like, that shit needs to stop, dude. People need to stop being such fucking animals out there. Like, I'd rather have a kid who's fucking, you know, being belligerently drunk and having a good time and blaring music than I would you being a fucking asshole to me when I'm like just trying to enjoy my round on a Saturday. That ruined our round. Like that was my dad's first round on that golf course, which he paid a full membership for.
Yeah.
And it was the worst golf experience I have ever had together playing. And we were fine with each other. Had nothing. We just like together.
Yeah, we had a good we had the worst round ever. Us 4 had a great time together.
No, I didn't. I had a horrible time. I literally I started to swing my golf club like I was swinging at somebody's fucking head.
Yeah.
Like I was
the ball was going everywhere.
I know. I was so upset. I couldn't contain myself.
Yeah.
That's the price you pay when you play at a place like that. And you're right. It's got to stop. It's got to stop.
It could have been one thing. Like when Phil got reached, not a big deal. Okay, 1 dick on the golf course, I can live with that. But when every hole you go out and they want to fuck my round up, I swear to God. And the thing is like they're all like old fuckers. Like that's the worst part is like not to be a dick, but like, dude, like you want to come out. You know what's funny? They've never come up to me with a problem. They'll go up to poor Phil and talk about the shirt and talk. My shirt's been untucked every time I walk into that club. And
so
none
was
of
your
those,
dad's.
Yeah, none of those fuckers come up to me and say anything.
They come
you know
up to me
what
because I'm tiny. They can break me over their leg.
I want them to come up to me next time because I swear to God, they're all just giving me reasons now. Like,
Josh is gonna go full Rambo on the course.
You do some like Roadhouse blood sport kick. Roadhouse.
blood sport. What the fuck is blood sport?
I don't know. That just came out. That was top.
cool.
I don't
That's
know.
a cool name.
I probably learned that. That was stored in the archives in my brain.
Blood sport.
Well, that sucks. I mean,
Yeah, it was just one of those days. I also was so excited because the last time I played, I shot a 90, and I was like, "Oh my God! Like I'm gonna go shoot under a 90." I think I opened like double, triple, and I was like, "Well, there it goes."
He gave me the signal to put the smiley faces on the card from now on.
I was done. I got to get back to the drawing board. The 90 might have been a stroke of luck. It was also fucking hot as balls. Like, and I think in the first ever episode of this podcast, we did the podium of golf course like essentials when you're playing with your friends. And one of the things I said was temperature. Temperature is very important when you're playing golf. And like when it's that hot and muggy, it's like, oh, it's just so uncomfortable. And that's why we're going to be coming up with some really cool material for our apparel coming out. So just stay tuned for that. That's
You
all I
also,
have to say.
you know what the other thing too is? I just realized neither of us had eaten anything that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
so-
we're on diets. We're doing a
We're on
fitness
diets.
plan over
We're
here at
on
OMADA
diets.
Golf.
speaking of food, this was my only gripe with my Lake Morey trip was that we booked our fucking tee time so early so that we could have time after we played golf. And every year before this year, breakfast is served starting at 5 a.m. We got up at 5 a.m. to eat breakfast, and breakfast is now not served until 6:30 p.m.
Whoa.
So we had to play basically.
Wait,
we had to
you
play
just said 6:30 p.m. Oh, a.m.
AM, yeah. So for whatever reason, they stopped serving breakfast for an hour and a half before they, it was crazy because now none of us could eat, and also they weren't serving food in the pro shop yet either.
Oh man, that sucks.
So we were like crunching on peanuts and chips and stuff.
Well, shouldn't they expect people to be golfing at 6 in the morning?
Oh yeah, there's people that tee off like there was like people on 9 when we were teeing off at 6:42.
That's
wonder
crazy.
why they would do
Maybe
that.
they're understaffed. I don't know. If you are, I apologize, Lake Morey, but that was like the first year we've never been able to get breakfast on Saturday.
Yeah,
That's
And
crazy.
you need food. You need food.
I'm intermittent fasting, so I'm not. I mean, I don't even eat breakfast, but I can tell you that going out for 18 holes or God forbid 27.
Yeah, well, if you're going out for 36 holes and you just drank until 1 o'clock in the morning, you gotta have some food when you wake up.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
you do.
That
No,
trip
Even if
sounds-
it's just like bacon, you know?
That trip is starting to sound like a stomach ache waiting to happen for me, dude. Fucking drinking during the day, drinking at night, eating. You know what I mean? Like
Once a year, though. Once a year. All I need is
That's
3
fun.
days out of you,
no,
Josh.
that's a blast. I that would be really fun to partake in. I also like. It's funny with golf is like, as I've always said this, like, and I would love to do some type of travel show like around this concept, but. I just love the fact that there's so much, like you could go to a golf course in any random place and the surrounding sort of like 5-mile radius could be really special. Like you guys know how I was just talking about Vegas, how I want to go with everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have this one golf course. You've probably seen it in a bunch of things. They just had a live tournament there. I
No,
think.
no. They had the match with
Yeah.
Tom Brady, Rogers.
Oh, that's what it was, the
Mahomes,
match.
and-
So, like in the middle of the desert, just like this paradise oasis?
So the match is the hotel I stay at, which is my buddy. Shout out Cam for hooking us up, and he's been working at Encore. He runs the hotel management at fucking Encore Boston. The golf course is the Wynn golf course. It's right behind that hotel, and that's where Tom Brady played, and it's also where Bryson DeChambeau. Have you ever seen him tee off in Vegas on the roof, and he hits like a 500-yard drive off the roof, and he goes for the target zone. That's where it happens. So
I did not know that.
you could go there and do a golf trip, and then obviously the surrounding it's just Vegas. So
Yeah, you can't. Will, I don't know the last time you went to Vegas, but
Never been.
Oh, okay, that explains it. Yeah, you can't see it from the strip. You can see it if you're up in a hotel. You can see the course, but like it's like behind the Wynn Hotel. It's so sick.
That's
I don't know.
amazing.
I have no idea how they maintain it because there's no water.
yeah,
out there.
dude, it's so weird.
It's
isn't it?
probably some magical shit that they're doing. Vegas
Spray paint.
Which is by the way, that's a real thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
If you go listen to the OMADA Golf original podcast, our first ever episode, we interviewed a head pro, and he talked about spray painting the course.
Mhm.
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
But
shit.
yeah, I don't know where they get the water from to do those but that's like what's so special about it is like there are places all around the world that are like that. And I intend on, if I was to do it, that's how I want to do it. I want to go find crazy shit like that, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. Nicky Shanks, anything from the weekend worth noting?
Other than Friday, I really ruined this segment, guys. I'm so sorry. I do
Why?
a whole lot of nothing. I gotta get out more.
Yeah, I
You live
think
in
you do.
Cumberland, Rhode Island.
I live in North Providence.
Yo,
Oh, really?
Represent North Providence.
Let's go.
Woo. North Providence High. No, yeah. So I did really nothing. I worked Sunday. Woohoo! Highlight of my week. So
What? I feel like you have nobody to blame but yourself for that.
Yeah,
Why aren't you going
seriously.
anywhere? Why aren't you doing anything? You have plenty of freedom here. I mean, I feel like we've given you been like, go whatever you want to fucking do, man.
yeah. Maybe I gotta venture out. Maybe I'll have something good for next week.
You're afraid to leave the nest, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel I feel comfort where I am.
Well, you just found out that you can access your bank through an app. So
Yeah.
the year's 2022. Nick, you're
Yeah.
clearly behind the 8 ball here.
It's fucking living in 2009
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Why don't you grab a buddy and go down to Miami or something?
Whoa. See, like for me, I'm a big planner. That's my problem.
Yeah, it is a problem.
Doesn't sound like you're planning it.
That's the thing. Is
The big planner has no plans.
Yeah, I'm not like I can't just get up and go somewhere. I need to know where I'm going, where I'm staying, like
Look for a hotel.
that stuff. Yeah.
So
Rent the hotel.
So
Buy
clearly
a
you're
plane
not.
flight.
Clearly you're not
that's
like
a good idea.
hype on apps. If you just found out that your bank account can be actually through an app, there's these apps called travel apps where you can book everything through the app.
That's
Technology is
actually-
amazing.
That must be crazy these
It's
days.
crazy, Nick.
I just-
you
I'm
whippersnappers.
I feel like people. I've been hearing this a lot more recently. Is like people aren't doing things, and I don't understand it. You know, like, and I'm not, and not in a negative way.
I hate you,
Not
Nick.
in a hateful way. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to, because there's like our generation and below, I don't think has this in their brain that I feel like there's social awkwardness from all the social distancing that's happened recently and all the fucked up world that things are now. But I mean, it's always been a fucked up world, but like just in a different way, fucked up. But like, you could literally just, all you have to do is buy a plane ticket or find an event, buy a plane ticket, and then go in on like a fucking hotel room for a night and go somewhere.
Yeah,
It's fucking so much fun, man. Have you ever been to New York, like the actual city?
with a school trip.
Okay, so I'm telling you right
Same.
now,
All right, you know what?
New York
This
New York is the coolest place in the world, Nick.
You can also take the train in New York too.
Yeah,
You can train in right from, although that's expensive to train in right from Rhode Island. So
That's true.
yeah. I'm becoming well.
Cut it half. Go to Connecticut.
You could take
Yeah,
like the train down to Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Go visit all the monuments, get learned up.
I think I actually did that with another school trip. So what I think I'm gonna do is just go like city to city, but I want to really like get into the city. Like, so right now I'm obviously Boston's close by, so I want to do basically everything there is to do there and then move on. You know what I mean? Once I get like bored with it, because I don't know, I just feel like some trips some people go to the same place as other people and have a completely different experience based on what they do, and I'm like afraid for that for me, if that makes sense.
no disrespect, but that's a very closed-minded view, which
It
is
is.
literally definitively what it is. And I'll just tell you, like, Boston is a great city. It's very old. There's a lot of history. It's, there's a lot of new with Seaport and all that. But dude, for somebody who's never been to a place like New York, there is something to do on every single corner.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you have to live there, right? It's more just like, it's actually not, I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just saying, like, there are cities like that. We went to North Carolina. We went to I've been to New York. We've done Boston, but there's Vegas, there's fucking Miami, there's Fort Lauderdale.
Go to Bozeman, Montana. Go to Montana.
Sure.
Is that where Lake Morey is?
No, Bozeman, Montana.
Never mind. I don't know why I thought that was Lake Morey, but
Yeah, but
No, but there's plenty of places out
next
there.
weekend I'll make sure I have something good. I'll make it.
maybe
a
I
point.
have to drag you. Maybe I have to
think you
maybe
do.
we have to do like a little New York business trip, go down, play Bethpage, and on the way back stay at a hotel, and I'll show you New York.
Hey, I'm in.
All right. That wraps up the weekend roundup with Nick doing nothing, but we're gonna get him to do some stuff. All right, we're gonna help you out, buddy.
Thank you. I need it.
Let's move into the juice of it here. This weekend, this is gonna be coming out on Thursday, which means the Open Championship has begun. We're all pretty excited for it around here. We all have some picks that we're gonna make for the tournament. I'm going to lead us off here because I don't want my guy getting snagged up because I know somebody here is going to take him.
Are you doing 1, 2, 3, kind of like how we did the PGA Championship?
Yeah, let's go around.
Yeah,
let's go
yeah,
around. So not all three at once, just like one guy. So I'm going first, and I'm taking Will Zalatoris, and I think he's going to win the whole damn thing.
It's funny how you just got to pick first.
Yeah. Who?
Because I think he's salty because I took Will Zalatoris last time.
Yeah,
so,
in the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
Whoever did the littlest this weekend should pick first.
I definitely don't think you get to pick 3 in a row. Right?
No,
one at a
no.
time. One at a time. Yeah.
Will Zalatoris was beat by Matt Fitzpatrick, the Englishman, in the U.S. Open. Zalatoris going out for revenge, going to represent the Americans. He's going to take the Open Championship and bring it to America. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. So I'm taking Zalatoris. I'm also sick of seeing him come in second place. So I hope
That's
he does
true.
all right.
Yeah. He's been banging on that major championship door for a while now.
Yeah. So who wants to go next?
I'll take it because I don't think anyone else is going to pick this one, but we'll see. My number 1 pick is going to be Shane Lowry. He's
Really?
a great wedge player, and I think the short game is going to be the key to winning the Open because of how the old course is laid out this year. So, and not to mention he's also a great links player. So, with all that being said, I know he's not like number one world ranked Scotty Scheffler, but I think he's got some. I think he's got it going. I think he could definitely take the crown this year. Yeah.
All right, Nick, how about you?
I'm gonna start it off with another one that I don't know it's gonna be taken, but I'm gonna go with Cam Smith.
Fuck you.
Oh, hey.
He's a good bet. He's a
think
good bet
he's
for this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been promising all year. He's knocking on that door like that, like a little bit, you know. And
So the only reason I want Cam Smith is because we just did one of the fantasy football leagues that I'm in. We're determining the draft order based on golfer placements in the U.S. Open, and I was randomly assigned Cam Smith, so I was going to pick him.
I think he's going to play well.
Josh.
I mean, kind of, Andrew, you guys didn't really pick any like major brand names.
I specifically didn't pick one person because I figured you were going to pick him.
John Rahm.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take him.
He's like pretty favored too.
I've been saying John, dude, he is pissing me off a little bit because I've been like, you ever get that where you really believe somebody's gonna like pop off and do something really good, but they just like drop off, and they just keep on letting you down. It's not that I'm like, he's a great guy, whatever, all that's fine, but win a fucking match, dude. Like, come out and win, just win. He deserves it. I feel like he's been on the cusp of greatness.
Been in contention
so
everywhere.
much.
What's
dude.
his world rank? Is he 3? Or am I wrong? Am I way off there?
Let's see.
I think he's in the top 5.
What pisses me off is like he always rides the top of the leaderboard, and then one shot has like a major impact on him, and I feel like he just drops.
He
down.
gets really upset with himself too.
Yeah, he gets so upset with himself.
Way in his own head.
Wow.
Too. What
He
is he on the world
dropped down.
ranking?
It says 33, but that
Okay,
can't
wow.
be right.
Well, it
No,
might be.
He's 3.
He's 3?
Three.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just, yeah.
I was gonna say what?
Never mind. Sorry, Google.
All right, so my second pick then, I'm going to go with I'm going to be boring and go with the highest favorite here, and I'm going to go with Rory McIlroy. He's the highest favored.
Why is he the highest favored?
I don't know. I think maybe he just has he won the Open before? Can
I
you
think-
quick look up.
Yeah, he's won everything but the Masters.
I think he's heavily favored right now because he's been like the face of the PGA Tour like ever since this LIV drama started, and he's like been the most to speak out against it. I know that has nothing to do with maybe play.
Yeah, he's been like doing chirps on Twitter and stuff.
Oh shit! I didn't even really know he was taking that stance.
Oh,
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that has nothing to do with like level of skill, but I think he's just a big name right now. But he has had some top performances.
Kinda.
Well,
he was riding like mid pack in the
the PGA.
no,
the U.S. Open.
The U.S. Open. He was riding mid pack, and then like the last day he miraculously shot like a fucking 65 or some really low score, and just like shaved off like 5 strokes on a plus. He was, I think he was like 2
He
over.
was right.
Or
He was
like
right in
3 over
contention.
maybe.
At one point on the final day, he was in contention. I was really excited because I had live bet him, but then he dropped back down. So
Yeah,
whatever.
he's sporadic. I'll tell you what, that's what I don't like. I do not like players that are sporadically good, which is actually why there's one player well, you guys go.
Will.
okay. I'm gonna go with Xander Schauffele. Killed it at the Travelers. He placed very well, I think. I didn't watch it, but he had strong form at the Pro-Am, the JP McManus Pro-Am, and then he won the Genesis Scottish Open. So
Yeah, he won last weekend.
this weekend, so he is going to be flaming hot coming into this major, and I think he's another person I think has a really good shot.
Well,
at it.
here's the thing, though. You can kind of look at that both ways because a lot of people didn't play in the Scottish Open thing because they were prepping for the Open.
It's true.
So
it's true.
What if he's, rest versus rust? Like what if he's tired?
He could be, or he could come out and just continue his
Ride the
streak.
high.
Right? Yeah, just
Yeah.
keep riding the high and continue his streak.
All right, Nicky Shanks.
I'm going to have to take Jordan Spieth here for my second pick.
Thank God. You guys are crazy. You guys skipped over.
Hear me out.
Let me hear it.
So he's won the Open before 2017, and that was when he was kind of on his downfall, kind of per se. Like he was kind of coming out of his really hot streak. And his swing's just coming back. Like I'm seeing more confidence out of him. And in these situations where conditions get tough, you can't hit it places, he always seems to be above the rest of the field. And his putting's obviously good, and with the big greens, he's going to be putting a lot. So it's where I'm headed. Josh.
This is a no-brainer, dude. Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Boo.
The hottest man on the planet.
Yeah. You have 2 of the top 3 in the world.
Yeah, that
You're
doesn't
gonna-
mean
and it's
shit.
gonna
That
crumble.
doesn't mean shit with golf, though.
Scotty Scheffler, you know why I like him? Consistency. I was there at the fucking U.S. Open when I watched him contend all the way through, and that was after winning a major, like whatever, a month before. So dude, he's lighting it up. Scotty Scheffler, we'll see in the fucking chip, baby.
That could do it right there.
Will's pissed right
I'm
now.
not pissed. I just think it's too easy of a bet. I tried to pick guys that like haven't like been top of the leaderboard,
Why?
world ranked number 1, because like you were talking about with John Rahm, you just want to see these guys win.
Oh, I see. So it's more like this.
Yeah,
is more
but
like
Scotty's a likable guy, though.
He is, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying I'd be
You think
mad
it's
if
just
Scotty
too
won.
easy of a
I think it's
pick?
just too easy of a pick, and like that's why I'm so like
Chalk.
I'm pissed that Colucci took Zalatoris, because I have been rooting for that guy. I think every single time we do this.
I also think that was a little bit of a dick move.
Boo.
I
Also,
never let myself pick
I'm just
first.
remembering though, who did give him first pick? Who anointed him?
I
Him.
did.
He did.
He anointed himself.
So now we've got a fucking. Might need a mutiny on our hands.
Now
dude.
he gets. How about last round? He gets last pick.
No one's gonna take the guy I'm gonna take.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, last round here. I'm taking the guy who just came into America and took our trophy, and I'm taking Matt Fitzpatrick, and Will is pissed.
Fuck you, dude. You took Zalatoris, so now I have to supply a backup, and that was my backup.
No, I'm taking Matt Fitzpatrick. I think it would be so sick if he came to America, wins the U.S. Open, goes back home, and wins the Open.
You think that would be sick as an American?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. It's a cool story. He's a young
Who
kid.
are
So
you?
who gives a fuck about this story, dude? You're a fucking
I'm all
American.
about stories.
What, dude? We
I'm
got
all
a
about
fucking Peaky Blinder in here.
I am the Peaky Blinders, dude.
Nobody
even though
forget.
I've never seen the show.
John Daly is playing this week. Don't forget.
He's my
No
number
way.
3.
Oh, come
Don't
on.
forget.
I'm speaking out of turn here.
I fucking love that man, dude.
All right, so I'm taking Matt Fitzpatrick with my last pick. Will.
I mean,
You're out of options.
I'm out of options, so I'm just gonna go Tiger Woods. Like,
That's a good pick.
why not? Like,
Why not?
and you know what I'll say is I just watched an interview of him with a reporter that was asking if he was going to retire. And he said, what, me? No, I'm not retiring. Like, what the hell? But he did say that he thinks that this might be one of his last years where he really has a chance at winning.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know what? With that being said, let's go Tiger
And
Woods.
going back to that rest versus rust argument, Tiger hasn't played in a while, so maybe he'll be nice and rested for this.
Yeah, he's been out practicing. He's been
I
putting
wouldn't
in the
say
reps.
He's been fucking rested. I'd say he's been fucking healing and
Injured.
rehabilitation. And
Yeah, for sure.
I can't fuck this bet. If Tiger Woods fuck whatever we're doing here. If Tiger Woods gets on the top of the leaderboard, I'm gonna go fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Watching
Facts.
him win after his leg being exploded from the inside out would be the greatest. That to me is like that. If Tiger Woods wins another major at all in his lifetime, and we get to watch it, I will feel like that's a life worth living, dude. That's like the greatest. That'll be the greatest feat in sports history.
Man
I think,
almost
ever.
lost his leg, so you're just yelling at me about my stories. I like the stories. Tiger winning's a great story.
Yeah, Tiger Woods is a great story. He's an American,
Story.
Andrew. It's the fucking, you're talking about. I like the story.
I like this. I'm a man of stories.
So-
You're
all
a
right?
man of fucking tales.
Speaking of Tiger, though, if he wins, if hypothetically he wins, does that like is he breaking any records?
No, he needs
He
two
is
more majors.
his own.
No, he needs 2 more majors to pass Jack Nicklaus.
That's what I thought. I didn't know if it was 1 or 2 majors.
I think he needs 1 to tie, 2 to break it.
I think, but dude, Tiger's so much more impressive. There were so many better golfers in the era of all the Tiger that the time that Tiger's played.
No, yeah, that's the big argument when people compare him to
He's
Jack
the best
Nicklaus.
golfer of all time. I don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus is great, but like, dude, come on, stop.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done what Tiger Woods can do with a golf club. I've never seen that shit in my life. Can you imagine even just forget the crowds and the tens of millions of people that watch every time he picks up a club? Think about doing that shit on your own.
No.
You
Like
look at
taking a
all right,
putt.
but okay, look at the argument from the other side though. Jack Nicklaus did it without the technology of today.
Yeah, but I
Clubs
mean,
were completely different back then. They were shit.
They're 2x4s.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, everybody has
same
that.
same playing field. It was
Everybody
not.
has that.
It was
True.
not the same playing field when Tiger's era came in. I mean, first off, you can't even imagine like what kind of performance enhancing things they were doing, what kind of technology started to implement into the game that some people were using and some people weren't. Like Bryson DeChambeau, he's using these insane fucking singular length clubs that they've custom made for him. You know what I mean? Like they weren't doing that shit back then,
Yeah.
and now they are. And he also can hit the ball 500, whatever, however long.
Long.
Yeah,
And I mean, courses are longer now. Green conditions are different. Like they have better kind of like.
from a talent perspective,
Yeah,
Tiger's. The
No,
guy.
listen, I'm on the Tiger side. I'm just saying, it's always two sides to an argument. Nick
no
Shanks.
argument.
I'm gonna go with another. I have an army of underdogs with Louis Oosthuizen. No,
I got nothing to say about that one.
Yeah, talk me through it.
Yeah.
I mean another Englishman just ready to take a trophy and lift it to the rafters.
Is there a reason?
I just like him.
All right, you just like him. All right, that's fine. Josh, you gonna go John Daly as your third pick?
I'm gonna go with JT.
JT. All right, so there's
good
our
bid.
picks for the Open. Any stakes, boys?
What's a funny restaurant?
A funny restaurant.
Chili's.
Yeah.
I actually like Chili's.
$50 gift certificate to Chili's.
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go. All right.
Game on.
I actually love that.
That is, I love that.
That might be better than the cash.
You can get a nice meal at Chili's
It's
and a
going to
margarita.
Chili's
plate.
anyway. It's 2 for $10. Are you kidding me? I'll go
Yeah,
there 5
50.
times.
$5 margaritas.
All
Say
right.
less, fam.
$50 gift certificate to Chili's if you win it.
The queso burger might be the best burger ever. But all
How's
right,
that, how's that diet going?
shut up.
Shut up.
All right, so that's going to bring us into, we mentioned the LIV a little bit. PGA Tour is in deep water. Nick, I'm going to let you intro this because you were the one who brought it to my attention.
Yeah, scrolling through a little late night TikTok, Instagram black hole that I got myself into, and all of a sudden I see some familiar faces on the screen talking about some potential lawsuits against the PGA Tour from the Department of Justice, where there's an investigation being launched about basically kind of the player rights and kind of the monopolization of the golf world as a whole. I know you guys also read about it. I don't know if you have anything else you want to throw in.
I mean, I'll say my 2 cents. This happened, what is it, in
1994.
1994.
Yep.
They were found guilty of the 2 things that were brought against them,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing happened because of it.
Yep.
So even though that the PGA fucked up, nothing happened to them. There was no fine. There was nothing done about it. So the PGA came out and said they're confident that's going to be the same outcome this year.
Right.
Yeah, so the
That's
base of
fucking bullshit.
the base of the
So-
investigation is that the PGA Tour, like the question at hand is, do they have the right to ban players and get players in trouble just for participating in a tournament from a competing league? That's the base of it, because they're pretty much saying that they're violating monopolization laws.
You can't
Correct.
even compare 1994 before iPhones
Right.
to 2022 when the media coverage on this has been immense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way that if they are found guilty that it's going to be a slap on the wrist, especially because they were already found guilty of this 25 years ago, right? 27 years ago, so almost 30 years ago.
28 years ago.
Yeah, 28 years ago. There's no fucking way because the world won't have it. If they're found guilty, and honestly, that's been the players' complaints. That's why many of them, that's why there was the grounds to start the new league, was because players were frustrated with the fucking monopolization of it. And honestly, I think, you can say what you want, like, and we can suck up to the PGA Tour all we want, but fuck, man, like, they absolutely had. I think all major sports have that going, dude. Like, I've seen other leagues be launched in the NFL that weren't successful. Like, what was the one?
I mean, there's been 100, but the USFL, the AAF, or I think it was called, the XFL is coming back now.
Arena football.
Right.
Arena football is the only successful one. The CFL is successful, but players, the NFL just takes players out of the CFL. They get drafted into the NFL or signed into the NFL. There's no the only reason it's a little different is no NFL player is going to go play in the CFL because that would not make sense. You make way less money.
Right. It's only
be
becoming
stupid.
a problem because they're trying to take that main stage, right? Because, you have, like you said, CFL, you have AA baseball, and you have the Corn Ferry Tour, which are all basically feeder organizations for these big kind of
The big
mainstream.
the big four, yeah.
Yeah, but then the minute somebody wants to, take over that primetime spot, it becomes an issue.
Yeah, I think what I learned the most about hearing about this was that when this happened in the PGA to the PGA Tour in 1994, that was the same year that Greg Norman tried to start the World Golf League,
Yes.
and it didn't happen.
That's what.
And
this
now
is
it
about.
makes more sense that this is like a vendetta that Greg Norman has against the
100%.
PGA when he's
Yep.
now the LIV league or the tour has taken off. So
Let's not forget that he's like, I think he might be edging his way closer and closer to a billionaire because the Greg Norman brand is fucking huge.
yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
I bet you with whatever he's making off the LIV, he's probably.
I don't know that he's.
Pro-
I don't know that he's yeah.
I might-
Not yet.
I don't know if he's making money or he's spending money, but one way or the other, he is. Will's right. This guy's on a mission. And honestly, like, I do think it's sort of, when you think about it, right? Okay, stop and think about what events do you care about when every year when golf rolls around? Like, what do you actually pay attention
The
to?
5 majors.
The 5 majors, right? So, you said
Four.
5, yeah.
Four in the
four.
players.
Four
Four
in
in the players.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
like, yeah.
So, what else? Name one other tournament. What else do you care
The
about?
only one I know
Local.
is the Deutsche Bank.
Yeah.
Only because
Wasted
it comes
management.
around. The waste management is pretty sick.
Okay, so you have the Waste Management in Connecticut and Deutsche Bank.
No,
No,
waste
Phoenix.
management's in Arizona.
Okay, I'm going to say the Travelers because
Right,
I
'cause
went.
That's true, the Travelers,
The
yeah.
local stuff.
Look, all I'm trying to say, none of those tournaments have any sort of, they have no brand. There's no reason to like any of those events. None of them do anything differently than the next, and so they're forgotten. The only reason the majors matter is because they're majors, and they're fucking universal, and it's like a celebrated worldwide golf event. So it's like the World Cup for golf.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Live Tour coming along, man. I mean, I think this is good. I think this is going to be good for golf and not bad for it. And I think the PGA should be held accountable if they're going to start
Ruin that.
kicking their fucking brands that have built the PGA. You know what I mean? That's so bogus. To
At
me.
the end of the
Yeah.
day, too, this investigation is good for the LIV tour. It's great for the LIV
Yeah.
tour.
It'll uncover some stuff that otherwise wouldn't be by the Department of Justice.
Yep.
Yeah, because so I was reading they're gonna get because the DOJ has like started their investigation, they're gonna get access to emails,
Everything.
text messages, WeChats,
Financial statements.
everything. Yes, exactly. So
Wow.
I think, and what I read though is this is not going to be an immediate thing. These things are going to slowly
Right.
start leaking out. People's salaries are going to slowly start leaking out, and people are going to get pissed.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, but there's that really thick line. I'm not sure who it was, but somebody said to Rory, like, come on, there's going to be like some change. We're finally going to get paid what we deserve. And Rory, I guess, looked at the guy and was kind of like, we don't deserve to get paid anything to just play golf every day. Like, this is a treat for us to be able to do this every day when people are out there kind of like, busting their back, trying to make just to get by. And that's just very two different sides of the argument, right? Where people think, they're a special talent and they can get compensated for that. And people think, oh, I'm lucky to be able to do this every day.
yeah, but I like Rory, but Rory can say that because he's
Right.
already filthy fucking rich.
Fair. That is
Dude,
fair.
they put him on the video game. Like, I wonder how much he made off that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
I also-
Nike start with that
deals
shit.
and-
That to me is like such a cop out. Like,
Yeah.
like obviously you want to do something you're passionate about, but that's like you ignoring all the sacrifice, the bloodshed, the fucking
Right.
difficulty of ever getting to a sport that has 150 players in the world that compete on the main stage.
Right.
That's fucking bullshit. If you're out of those 150, if there are people who aren't being paid a really fucking healthy wage, then that's pathetic on the end of the PGA Tour.
Right.
Because they should be making good money. They should. I mean, 150 out of billions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's bullshit of Rory to
It's-
say.
yeah.
Obviously, there's the passion aspect of it, but come on, man. Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I feel like Rory can afford to say that because he's one of the top earners ever in golf. So like,
also, yeah, from
it's also gifted.
right,
Yeah.
and from like a security standpoint too, like every other sport has a draft. In the LIV, with their signing bonuses, has given players an opportunity for security financially,
mhm.
regardless of how they perform when they get there. Because, like we all see, we play every day. We don't know what we're gonna show up with. As good as you are, as bad as you are, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Not saying that anyone's like any better, but the best golfers in the world have bad days. Everyone has bad days. And if you're in the NHL, the MLB, you have a bad day, you still get a paycheck at the end of the day because of the sacrifice that you've made to get there.
Yeah.
Right? So for these guys to sign on with LIV and make millions of money, millions of dollars right out of the gate, it can, one, take pressure off them and have them perform better as well, and also kind of just give them that security to, be able to do what they want,
It's
instead
not
of,
like the PGA Tour. We just learned, not like the PGA Tour can't afford it.
right.
It's not coming down to that. It's penny pinchers They're trying to make as much money off their fucking players as they can. And that's one thing I don't like, is when an organization sucks the lifeblood out. Like this kind of boils, and I don't want to diverge too much, but you know, the whole thing about, you know, college players and not being able to be paid. And, you know, I don't even know if I have a stance on that, but I will say that, like, if I was a player and I know that any day I could get injured, you know what I mean? Something could happen. I lose my game, whatever the case is. Like, having no security, no financial security is a pretty scary thought. And it's not fair when the schools and the organizations are fucking making tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars off these athletes.
Yeah. So that, like, not to jump into college football debates, because this is one of the highly debated things ever. Nick, as a college athlete, you agree that the NIL deal, the NIL name, image, and likeness, you agree that that's a good thing.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, granted, I'm on a much smaller stage, being where I go to school and kind of the sport I play as well. But our top basketball players have deals, and
they should.
They should.
If the school is selling tickets and selling ad revenue based on you should be able to, not that the school should necessarily pay you like as an employee, because then that goes into a whole different thing. But you should at least be allowed to go sign with a car dealership and cut a commercial and make like a quick 10 to 15K.
But it's also adding to the credibility of the school, because when they have top players who are sponsored by like these huge Nike, Adidas, and people see that, like top other players that see that say, oh, like this school allows the opportunity for that kind of like exposure. And then other people who go to the school are gonna want to go to the school with the best players sponsored by the best brands. Yeah. So it's also, you know, a way for the school to gain be more recognizable and kind of put their name on the map that way.
Well, it's also, on top of that, it's also building brand for the players.
Right.
I've always said this when I've reached out to when we've worked with influencers on different things. I've always said, like, if we're paying to have you organically use our product, which is the type of content we're trying to push out now, organically using the product, we're not hurting your brand. Right. And we're putting your face, your image and likeness in front of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. So why would that's only beneficial for you? Even take out the money that you get from it. You're building a brand. You know, Michael Jordan is a great example. It's like that dude has. Yes, he's one of the best. He's probably the best basketball player ever. Maybe one of the best athletes ever, whatever. But don't forget that, like, a lot of Michael's wealth came from that partnership with Nike. It's like, and honestly, Magic Johnson, who was arguably not far off from Michael, partnered with, I think, Adidas, and they estimated that, so because Nike had reached out to him and offered like 10% of the company to him to sign with him. Magic denied it. And I think he ended up losing out. They did some math. It was like a $2 or $3 billion loss by not signing with Nike. You know, so the relationship between brands and players is really important.
Right, and helping like players understand that early is important too. Because
so that's what I was going to say. Letting college players sign NIL deals will let them give the opportunity to learn about financial means, like, because a lot of players, you hear the stories all the time, they get drafted into the NFL or NBA, they get these massive signing bonuses, they get hurt and then they're broke and then they're done. Right. You know, it's like because they don't know how to like spend the money correctly or invest it correctly. Start making money younger based on your athletic abilities, you can be prepared when you get to the NFL and you get a fucking $11 million signing bonus, and like, you know what to do with it now.
And the thing for us is too, like, I mean, a lot of what the NCAA does for us as athletes is kind of forward focused now. So we're going through, training classes and what to look out for and how to know if it's real or fake, like endorsements that way. And, we're reporting everything that kind of we're, say, quote unquote, sponsored by. They can kind of use our name, image, and likeness. We're reporting that back to our school, which then goes to the NCAA and has to be approved. So it's not like they're just throwing us out to the wolves and saying, good luck, guys, hope nothing bad happens. Like, they're kind of standing behind us on this, which is also important because, obviously it's not something that they look to do because they wanted to kind of keep that whole amateur status and kind of that thing, but they knew that when they made that decision, they were going to have to support us as well, and I think they're doing that. So
yeah, that's great to hear. I always wondered that because, like, I've never had the opportunity to talk to somebody who does play Division I sports, and like, I always wondered like the NIL deal comes out but I like how they like prepared you or actively are helping you
Definitely
in that process. That's pretty cool. I did not know that.
I feel like you've spoken to a million Division I players. They're everywhere.
We're not special.
No, but I've never like gotten a chance to pick their brain about this though. You know, like
your best friends were a Division I.
He's usually just telling me I don't
Athletes
do
in
enough
college.
around here.
that
take
was
out the
before the
trash,
NIL.
or that I don't do anything
Yeah.
on the weekends.
Yeah.
Oh wow! You're right. I didn't realize
The
that.
NIL was
Last
what,
year.
2 years? Yeah,
Oh,
last
that's
year.
right.
Yeah,
That's when
so
Barstool like went off and just started fucking just
And they were like,
sponsored like
Barstool athlete. Here's a T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barstool athlete.
Yeah.
Here's a T-shirt.
And the T-shirt literally just says athlete.
Yeah.
That's it.
Are you a Barstool athlete?
I am.
Look at you, Nicky Shanks.
Barstool. Let's do some shout outs here. Barstool, Liquid IV, Lululemon. Yeah.
No
This
free
office
ads.
runs on Liquid IV.
Yeah. Shout out Liquid IV.
This
This office does run on Liquid IV.
Cool.
Yeah, so sponsor the podcast, Liquid IV, please.
Yeah.
But, we're running a little long here behind OMADA, not really much going on. We're all excited for the Open. A couple weeks, we're going to be going to Vermont for our trip to...
Fox Run in Ludlow, Vermont.
Yep. So look out for the content. We're going to be coming out of there. Probably going to do a whole vlog about it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do some great promotional stuff for the course. We're really excited. They have been nothing but accommodating to us. They are fantastic over there, and we're really excited to get up to Fox Run in Vermont, Ludlow, Vermont to be exact. It's going to be freaking awesome. We're all very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited. Okemo. It's one of the Okemo courses. So
Yep.
it went under a lot of renovation. And from what I hear, it's beautiful.
Yep.
The restaurant there is awesome. And shout out Janine Troy. They've been they're salt of the earth people. They've been. We already got our tea times booked.
Nice.
They're helping us out with some lodging, and we're heading up there at the end of the month. So it's gonna be a blast.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we're deep in the bowels of fucking
Pause.
deep in the bowels of product development. As always, I say it every podcast, but just follow along on Instagram at OMADA Golf. Follow along at T-Box Talk Pod on TikTok, on Instagram. Get on our email list so you don't miss out when we do come out with some cool shit, because it's coming very soon. Hint, hint right here.
I'd say 1 year from now, I think the brand will be. I think the brand, not the brand, but the offerings will be unrecognizable to today.
Yep.
So keep fucking looking, baby, because we are about to explode.
And shout out to Mark, who sent me a great joke for the stand-up section of our podcast. I'll get it out next week, Mark. Don't you worry about it. We're just running a little long here. So thank you very much for tuning in to episode 14 of T-Box Talk. It's been a blast as always. Enjoy watching the Open. Enjoy the weekend. As always, peace out. Thank you so much for listening.
See you.